Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sunstone, and today's video is going to be all about the brand new development timeline that was just recently released by Stairway Games in the February 2022 developer update. So this gives us a much closer look at what we have to look forward to this year for the development of Coral Island, and maybe when we can actually expect the early access release. So although there are no dates on this timeline, we can get a general idea of when each of these phases will take place. So alpha version 0.07 is the next version of the alpha to launch on March 7th, and if the team continues to launch a new version of the alpha every 2 months, that means that the version 0.08 will launch in the first week of May, while alpha version 0.09 will launch sometime in the first week of July. That brings us to the polish phase, which would likely take place after the typical time allotment for an alpha version, so the 2 months, which means that polishing would likely start sometime in September, and I have no idea how long this process takes, but we can predict that early access of Coral Island will release in Q4 of 2022, and most likely sometime between October and December of this year. So that is my best guess. If any additional clarification comes through from the team or any additional information is added to this timeline, I will be sure to report on it. So this would actually be a great time to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so that you will know as soon as I post something new and exciting about the game. All that being said, let's actually take a closer look at what each version of the alpha will involve. So for those of you who are playing the alpha, you'll actually be testing these mechanics. For those of you who are not playing the alpha, you will likely be seeing more of these mechanics in the developer updates. So remember that between each of these alpha versions, there will essentially be 2 developer updates, one close to the time that the alpha drops, and then one in between. So for the next version of the alpha, they're going to be featuring the renovated museum, which we did get a peek at in the latest developer update. They're going to be implementing the heritage portion of the town rank, which involves temple offerings, and I'm very curious to see if we're going to be introduced to the goddess of flowers at any point, or if these even have to do with her. I think they do, so very curious. They're going to be including more interiors and exteriors, rebalanced mastery progressions, which we did get a brief look at in the latest update as well. So many of the new skills for mining specifically. They've also improved the fishing minigame, which I'm really curious about because as it stands, it's a click, hold, release to cast and a click to catch mechanic. So I'm not sure what exactly they're going to be changing about it, but this will be nice for alpha players to test out. They're also going to be introducing improved bug catching, as well as new UIs for both the clothing store and the salon, in addition to some other revamped UIs, so very excited for those. Moving forward into the version 0.08 of the alpha, which as we stated will most likely launch within the first week of May, they're going to be adding the town board, which I'm really excited for. So that's where you're going to be receiving different quests from the NPCs. They're going to be adding a new decor mode. I'm assuming that's just an overhaul of the existing interior decor mode, but I'm not 100% sure. They're going to be adding new town shops. So the good news is we're going to be finding out what at least some of those new shops they previously alluded to are going to be before early access. We're going to get a look at this in the alpha and not too far from now. So I'm very excited. I still have no idea what they could be. I mean, I have a ton of ideas, but it could really be anything at this point. So this will be super exciting. This version is going to be when they actually implement the mount riding mechanic. So that'll be super fun to test out. They're also going to be revamping questing and progression. So I'm not sure exactly what that'll look like, but I do feel like it's definitely an important mechanic to test out in this phase of the game. They're also going to be rebalancing the economy, which I think a lot of the prices and such are just sort of like placeholders anyway, but it'll be interesting to see how they go about that. They're also going to be doing a part 2 of the renovated museum, so I feel like this museum is going to be huge, you guys. I feel like with all the collectibles and how expansive the areas we have seen so far appear to be, I really think the museum is going to be a highlight of the game overall. They're going to be adding refreshed 10-meter diving maps. So again, similar to the mines where they refreshed a lot of the interiors and added extra details and features and all that, I'm assuming it'll be something similar for the diving maps, and I'm really curious about that. I can't wait to see that. And then they're going to be implementing the town rank. I don't know exactly what this means because it is currently implemented, I believe. I mean, maybe they mean just in its entirety, so we'll get all 4 categories of the town rank for testing. And then some sort of new tool, which is so interesting to me because this is like an entire point all on its own. So like, what sort of tool could be this significant? Let me know what you think it might be in the comments down below. And in the final wave of the alpha, as it appears at this point, they're going to be implementing some sort of dynamic shop logic. Now, I honestly just have no idea what this is. I feel like it's pretty vague. So if you have a more specific idea of what this means, definitely let me know. But unfortunately, I can't be of much help. I feel like this could mean anything. They're also going to be adding the wildlife of Coral Island, which, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for this. This is going to be so exciting. And it's going to add so much to the map of Coral Island. Just when you're walking from point A to point B, just hanging out, just having wildlife around, just naturally showing up. That is going to be so exciting to see. I cannot wait for that one. They're going to be introducing a new farmhouse as well as farm buildings. So I guess that means our player house might be getting a huge overhaul, which I'm game for sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it now, but seeing all these other exteriors around the island, I could definitely see our house getting an overhaul as well. And then the farm buildings may be new exteriors for the barns and the coops and all that. They're also going to be introducing the greenhouse. So that's exciting. They're going to be showcasing the seasons. I don't know if that means we're going to be able to play through the seasons, or perhaps we'll be able to play through the setting of the seasons, but not the actual mechanics, if that makes sense. So for instance, when spring ends, summer will begin visually on the island, but maybe in terms of the actual like quests and events and all that, we'll stay in spring. I'm not sure how they're going to do that because they're not saying the 4 seasons are going to be actually implemented in the game. It's just saying it's like a showcase, but I can't wait to see Coral Island in the different seasons. The scenery is going to be so gorgeous. They're going to be implementing the pufferfish system, which your guess as to what this means is as good as mine. It could be some of the quests, it could be some of the story. A system sounds involved, so I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on at pufferfish. We've barely been given any information about this, but maybe as development goes on, we can comb through the developer diaries and keep our eyes peeled for more about this. They're gonna have new TV shows added to our TV at our player house, and I'm imagining that those TV shows would probably have some sort of utility to them, similar to the shopping channel where you can actually find out what's for sale at Sakura Electronics and how much it'll be and all that. They're gonna be implementing pass out mechanics, so that's when your player passes out at the end of the day at a certain hour, or when you run out of stamina. This isn't necessarily currently implemented in the alpha. Obviously, I can't really disclose any specifics, but it'll be interesting to see how they choose to implement this. Some games you lose money the next day. Most games you wake up in the clinic or the hospital, and you also usually wake up with lower stamina than if you had a full night's sleep. So that'll be interesting to see how they choose to go about it, and if they stick to what has been done time and time again, or if they decide to do something a little bit different. I would definitely be interested to see some thinking outside of the box for this one. They're also going to be adding that controller support. So if you've been holding off on playing the alpha because you're not a fan of keyboard and mouse, which is totally fair, maybe you'll want to jump back in this last wave of the alpha where you can actually just plug in your controller, so your PS5, PS4, Xbox controllers, whatever it may be, and maybe that'll be more comfortable for you when you play. And then they're also going to be remapping key bindings, so if you do enjoy playing keyboard and mouse, this will definitely be helpful for some of you. And then finally, the polish phase involves improving asset quality, improving animation quality, rebalancing the game based on feedback from players, optimizing CPU, GPU, and memory usage, and then also adding more player customization options and more decor customization options. Again, depending on how long they leave this last version of the alpha open and whether polishing takes place completely separate from this version or alongside this version, I could see the NDA lifting somewhere in here. I feel like they might decide to lift the NDA at the tail end of this version, so maybe the last couple of weeks, or perhaps during the polishing period if that alpha remains open. What we do know is the NDA has to lift before the alpha ends. So it will be at some point in here. I don't think it'll be any sooner. I mean, I would love it if it were, but I just don't think anymore that they're going to be lifting the NDA anytime soon. So I think probably sometime in the late summer or early fall, we can look forward to it lifting. But please shock me and surprise me and lift it around here so that I can fully share this beautiful game with all of you. So that was an overview of the newest development timeline for Coral Island. If you're interested in continuing the conversation about all of these features, be sure to check out the next episode of the Everything Coral Island podcast, which goes into much greater detail, more conversation between Red and I about all of these high-level features that are going to be tested throughout the alpha. I will link that in the description of this video once it is live. And now it's time for your top comments. Now, these comments were left on my latest video, which covered the February 2022 developer update. The first top comment is from Matisse. They said, "When I tell you that I already read and loved the dev's diary for this month, but still waited the whole day to hear your opinions on it and share my excitement with the community." This makes my heart so happy. I'm so thrilled that so many of you still come check out my news videos even after you've seen the developer diaries. I just love the conversation that these updates generate, both on the channel here, in the Discord, so on, so forth. So definitely a highlight for me of every update is the conversation that follows it. So it's awesome that many of you feel the same way. And I really can't thank all of you enough for the support. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers here, which is absolutely insane to me. I really can't believe it. So thank you all so much. And the other top comment was from Emma Byrne. They said that they could listen to me talk about this game all day and petition for a Sarah Sunstone to be in-game as the daily news anchor, which is actually such a fun idea. Honestly, it's on my vision board and bucket list to somehow be included in something in the realm of Coral Island, whether that be through a mod or who knows what. Honestly, it seems highly unlikely, but shoot for the stars, right? I'm also super happy that some of you enjoy listening to me talk about this game all day, because I enjoy talking about this game all day, so it's a good match, right? Thank you all so much for leaving your comments on my last video. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below on this one, and maybe you'll be featured in my next. And before I leave you today, let's take a look at today's amazing fan art. Today's amazing fan art is another piece that was done for the Valentine's in Coral Island contest. This one is by Jassita, and she created a beautiful illustration of her original character ready for a date with Raphael. She said that her character spent the whole day planting flowers for him, and so cute, so sweet. I love all the flowers. I love her farmer's overalls. I love her character's hairstyle, and I especially love the glasses. Definitely hoping to see some glasses soon in character customization. Fingers crossed. So be sure to show her some love in the comments down below, and thank you so much for sharing your amazing art with us. Let me know what you think about all these exciting additions that will be playtested during the alpha phase. Let me know when you think the NDA will lift, and let me know how you feel about a Q4 early access release. As always, I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care.